escorted by Brittany Ogletree, mother, and Nashawn Boomer, the father. Cheyenne Forward, escorted by Kimberly Palmer, the mother, Devon Price, father. Taylor Lanier, escorted by Tyra Lanier, mother, Richard Lanier, brother. Gia Lopez, escorted by Mary Clearwater, mother, Danny Lopez, father. Jasmine Red, escorted by Jasmine Gunther, mother, Tamerlyn Harris, aunt. Destiny Tote, escorted by Tracy Lippert, mother, and Scott Lippert, father. Kyla Turner, escorted by Dana Turner and Tim Turner, mother and father. And now for the football team. Marquand Brown, number 3, escorted by Marvin Brown and Tamika Brown. Amari Burgess, number 4, escorted by girlfriend Justice and mom Tashia. Number 5, Elijah Taylor, escorted by Ed Taylor, father, and Krista Taylor, mother. Number 6, Davion Burgess, escorted by Anisha Sims, Nana, and Andrea Hamid, mother. Number 7, Elijah Smith, escorted by mother Lisa Truton and brother Tyler Smith. Number 8, Marion Perkins, escorted by Christy Rogers and Arion Rogers. Number 10, Damari Freeman, escorted by Bernitra Jennings and Patricia Jennings at Buell. Number 14, Delvon Smith, escorted by mother Mania. Number 17, Chester Adams, escorted by father Chester Adams Sr., grandmother Brenda Adams. Number 20, Shane Ringgold, escorted by brother Thomas Ringgold. Number 24, Jalen Stringer, escorted by mom Peggy Kaysen and dad Tim Kaysen. Number 25, Asante Rogers, escorted by Monica Streeter, mother, and Michelle Streeter, stepmother. Number 27, Amarian Dukes, escorted by Yolanda Elkins and Jamal Jackson, grandmother and uncle. Number 31, Tim Jones, escorted by brother Stephon Henderson and sister Larsha Henderson. Number 40, Quincy Brown, escorted by brother Quentin and Aunt Carmen. Number 41, Jamari Felton, escorted by Latrice Felton and Jaleel Felton. Number 55, Reggie Watson, escorted by Natalie Williams, mother, Dolores Williams, grandmother. Number 64, Nate McCann, escorted by Tabitha McCann, mom, and Mahar Hamid, uncle. Number 68, Robert Jamel, escorted by mom Melissa Eddington and granddad Reuben West. Number 73, Sam Waldman, escorted by Jim Waldman and Barb Waldman. Number 76, Antonio Burgess, escorted by mother Sierra Ziegler and father Antonio Burgess Jr. Okay, go! Noah Murphy, number 79, escorted by Adam Murphy's dad and Nicole Murphy's mom. Fans, please give a Warren Harding Raider a round of applause to our 2020 Warren Harding senior cheerleaders and football players and their families and friends. Board of Education, Superintendent, Principal, Athletic Department of Mooney City Schools extend each a cordial welcome to Cardinal Stadium for tonight's contest between the Cardinal Mooney Cardinals and Warren G. Harding Ravens. Mooney and Warren G. Harding High Schools are both members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association and abide by high standards of conduct, competition, and relations with member schools. The athletes of the field are friendly rivals. While playing may be fierce on attendance tonight, are reminded this is a game between youngsters, and the sport of behavior is expected. The officials assigned to this game have been selected and assigned according to procedures adopted by the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Referee Ron Book. Umpire Brian Shaw. Linesman Bobby Starks. Line judge Robert Haven. The back judge is Brian Berkman. And now the starting lineup for Cardinal Mooney defense. At quarterback, a 6 foot, 165-pound senior number 12, Jordan Sheehan. At safety, a 5'10", 175-pound senior number 13, Mickey Velasquez. At safety, a 6 foot, 200-pound senior number 15, Pat Ferrari. Defensive back, 5'11", 180-pound senior number 22, AJ Petty. Defensive end, a 6 foot, 215-pound senior number 51, Will Speretta. Defensive tackle, 6 foot, 240-pound senior number 55, Carl Ferry. Defensive tackle, 6 foot 2, 330-pound senior number 56, Gary Stewart. Linebacker, 5'7", 190-pound junior number 2, Jaquan Douglas. And linebacker, 6 foot 1, 215-pound senior number 21, Mike Costello. And now the starting lineup for your Raiders. At tackle, a 6'6", 245-pound senior, number 79, Noah Murphy. At center, a 5'10", 235-pound junior, number 71, DeVell Trimble. At tackle, a 6'2", 295-pound senior, number 68, Robert Treble. At guard, a 6 foot, 290-pound senior, number 55, Reggie Watson. At guard, a 5'10", 255-pound junior, number 52, Merrill Brown. At running back, a 5'6", 140-pound junior, number 26, Bryson Powell. At wide receiver, a 6 foot, 165-pound junior, number 23, Kurt Dorsey. At the H-back, 6 foot 1, 185-pound senior, number 17, Chester Adams. At running back, a 6 foot 1, 200-pound junior, number 22, Marco Paterno. At wide receiver, a 6 foot 1, 165-pound junior, number 11, Don Foster. At wide receiver, a 6 foot 1, 170-pound senior, number 10, Damari Freeman. At wide receiver, 5'10", 160-pound senior, number 6, Davion Burgess. At wide receiver, is 5'9", 175-pound senior, number 4, Amari Burgess. And at quarterback, a 6'1", 195-pound senior, number 5, Elijah Taylor.
Harding coming off a 24-17 loss to Cleveland Benedictine last week, and really that loss can be pretty much narrowed down to 2 big pass plays for the Benedictine Bengals, and Mooney also coming in at 0-1, taking a big loss to Steubenville Big Red. I believe the final in that one was 40-13. Tom Bird here with you once again, and as always, my partner Eddie Colbert helping out. And Eddie, we got 2 teams that are very tradition-rich, at least in this part of the state, if not the whole state. And you know, coming in here 0-1, they got to be itching for a win.
Yeah, the Raiders came off that tough loss last week. Proud to see them play to the finish with that last touchdown that was thrown by Elijah Taylor. Something that might have been missed on that loss. I do believe Elijah Taylor did become the Warren Harding's all-time leader in touchdown passes. I believe he was behind Lynn Bowden by 1 touchdown coming into that game. He did have 2 touchdowns last week, I believe both to Don Foster. The last one did not only give him the tie, but also give him the lead there. So unfortunately in the loss, but they've got another week here, and I'm sure that's what the coaching staff talked to them about. You got to put every week behind you. You got to move on and learn from the mistakes behind. Very proud to see what our team did last year on the side of the defense. A lot of those tip passes need to become interceptions this week, get the offense back on the field. So hopefully we see a good game here tonight. 2 teams looking to get in the win column.
All right, like I said, we're here early tonight. We had senior night. We recognized our football seniors, and now get to enjoy the Warren G. Harding Raider Marching Band pregame show. We'll be with you in just a few minutes with kickoff.
Thanks. Okay, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of our school alma mater, the Gold and White. Pregame wouldn't be the same without the official song of the state of Ohio. Here is Hang On Sloopy.
In the middle of our city stands a structure forged from concrete and time. This is where we gather to watch greatness unfold. This is Mooney Stadium. The home of the 36 NFL players. Vegas Raiders. The stomping ground of 17 playoff appearances. The start of one man becoming immortalized. To 7 state
Get up
champions.
on your feet. Yeah.
I promise you will see. Let them know that we are champions. Come with this history. Let them know that I'm a champion. First string, it's a Dub City thing. It's time to go get a ring. Let them know that I'm a champion. We on the road from all across to the goal. Game time, bang mode. Let them know that I'm a champion. You already know, that I'm a champion. Come witness history on. Let them know that I'm a champion. First string, it's a Dub City thing. It's time to go get a ring. Let them know that I'm a champion. We on the road from on the coast to the pole. Game time, bang low. Let them know that I'm a champion. Never ride the bench. I am a player, boy. Got the eye of the tiger, but I'm a Raider, boy. Turned up. I'm hoping you feel the same way.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
Okay, Star Spangled Banner brought to you by the Warren G. Harding Raider Marching Band. And we are set for kickoff, folks.
Sets up the field goal. Jake Doherty hits up and goes. Back to pass first, and under a lot of pressure. He's hit hard. He's getting dropped for a safety.
So yeah, Tom, as we mentioned earlier, you got two teams coming off a loss on week one. Obviously crazy season with this COVID virus, but it doesn't matter. Right now it's 11 on 11, offense versus defense. Everybody's ready to get at it. Both teams looking to get themselves off the schneid, want to get that W in the column. Harding can't look forward next week to this game against Massillon. They got to get past this one. They got to correct some of those mistakes made last week. The defense, corners were in the right position. Those tip balls need to turn into interceptions. Get that offense, get that defense off the field, get the offense back on. Got to start with establishing the running game. Last week, they were unable to establish that running game, made them a one-dimensional offense. They went strictly passing. In the second half, Benedictine went to a dime defense, and that's kind of what stalled out the Harding offense. This week, look for that offensive line to take charge. Look for Coach Arnold and his coaching staff to really instill into his players the toughness and the want to get it done this week. So look for a good game from the Harding offense and defense this week.
Harding set to kick off, and Jake Doherty with the kick. It's going to be fielded short, right around the 21-yard line. Return up the middle, breaks one tackle, gets out to about the 31. That looks like number 14, Brandon Lott on the return. And Mooney looks like it's going to be setting up first down and 10 right around the Harding 32-yard line.
So we'll see what the defense comes out in. Last week we saw a hybrid. We saw a 4-3, we saw a 4-4. Looking to try to stop that Benedictine offense. So we'll look what they settle into this week. But once again, corners were spectacular last week. In the right place at the right time. Just got to turn some of those tip passes into interceptions.
So number 15, Pat Guerreri in at quarterback for the Cardinals. He sets up under center. There's a handoff up the middle, and he's met at the line of scrimmage. That was number 2, Zaire Rogers, with no running room up the middle, much as we saw at the beginning of the game last week.
Yeah, I'd like to see number 4, senior Amari Burgess, come up, fill that gap. Nice hit right there at the line of scrimmage to hold that Mooney running back to no yards.
Little gain on the play, 2nd down and 9. Ball at the Cardinal Mooney 33-yard line. And this time Guerreri steps back into a shotgun. Now he's back up under center. Rogers still right behind him. And again, the handoff to Mart Rogers. And again, no gain on the play. Big stand by that Raider defensive line early.
Yeah, nice penetration there. Looked like that was led by maybe 41 there. That was Jamari Felton there. Came up, filled that hole, gave him no room. 10 more hats came to the ball. Exactly what you want to see in an opening drive. 3rd and 10. Defense can kind of pin their ears back, knowing that the Mooney offense is kind of one-dimensional here, looking for a pass.
Loss of 1 on that 2nd down play brings up a 3rd down and 10. Guerreri again under center, and this time Guerreri drops back. He's looking downfield, throws it up high and long. That's going to go out of bounds and bring up a 4th down and 10.
Now you saw the defense there. Looked like they ran a 3-4. That was another defense. They did the 4-3, 4-4, and the 3-4 last week, trying to give some different looks to the Benedictine offense last week. Passing down, they went to that 3-4. Looked like the corners were back there with the safeties dropped back in a zone. Quarterback had no choice other than to throw the ball up for grabs out of bounds. Great defensive stand to start this game for the Raider defense.
Brian Philbin on to do the punting for Mooney. And he gets off a low line drive kick, and that's going to go out of bounds down inside the 25-yard line. Number 4, Amari Burgess was back there on the return, but he had no chance at that one.
Yeah, so this offense is going to take the field led by their quarterback, three-year starter, Elijah Taylor at quarterback. He's got the passing yards, he's got the touchdowns, but before we get to that, looks like we got a little laundry on the field. We'll see what this flag is about. Looks like I see Elijah Taylor coming onto the field, so that's going to either be against Mooney or it's going to be declined.
I wonder if that's a 15-yarder against Harding. I wonder if somebody ran into the kicker back there and we were watching downfield for the ball to go out of bounds. Well, that's going to give Mooney a 1st down after Harding looked like it was on its way to a 3-and-out. Now Mooney has a 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
And that was my mistake. Wrong number for Elijah Taylor.
Guerreri with the handoff up the middle to number 3, Devontae Miller. And Miller gets a couple out to about the 49-yard line, brings up a 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, that's a devastating penalty on the Raiders there. Your defense comes out, get your 3-and-out, and unfortunately a penalty is going to give them that 1st down towards the middle of the field. Need to do it again, get them out of here, get the offense on the field.
Guerreri this time they hand off to Rogers, looking for room to the left, and he gets through for maybe a couple more before being pushed back. Looks like the official's going to give him 2.5 yards up to about gets inside Raider territory up to the 48-yard line.
Exactly what you want to see on that defense there. You saw he tried to hit the outside. Defensive end was there to contain, force that running back to the inside. He had his tackle as well as the linebacker there to come up and make that stop. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Raiders.
3rd down looks like a long 5, and again Guerreri, he's got Miller and Rogers to his either side of him. And he's going to step back to pass. He's under a lot of pressure back there, and Guerreri's going to go down way back at the Cardinal Mooney 40-yard line. 4th down.
Yeah, once again defense steps up big. After that big penalty that gave Mooney the 1st down, able to step up and get another 4th down. They've got single coverage out there. You saw on both sides, they were very comfortable with their corners against these wide receivers, able to send a rush, able to get the big loss, 4th and 16. Offense should be taking the field.
Philbin with another low kick. Burgess is going to let that one stop about the 29-yard line, and it was Imari Burgess in there with the first touch on that sack. This time all goes well for the Raiders, and it'll be first down and 10 Raiders at their own 30-yard line. 8:23 to play in the first quarter, still no score.
Yeah, all in all, worked out for the Raiders there. Even after the penalty, I think they ended up with better field position than they would have after that initial punt. But Tom, this is where it all starts out. It's the offensive line versus the defensive line. You have to establish the line of scrimmage in order to control this game.
Elijah Taylor in that shotgun.
He's got it.
Back. He's
11
got
wide
deep.
open.
He's got Don Foster deep at the 30-yard line. Foster shakes the tackle. Foster's going to take it in for a touchdown, and Harding goes on the board. 6-0. 70-yard touchdown pass from Taylor to Foster.
Left off from where they were last week. Don Foster with 120 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. Start out the game with the big play. You saw it from the line of scrimmage. He beat his corner. Elijah Taylor knew his read, knew he didn't have a safety back deep. Able to put that pass right there on the numbers. Great way for the Raider offense to start out this game.
Freshman Jake Doherty on to attempt the extra point for the Raiders. And this time, Doherty gets the upright, but last week he caught a break on that. This week he doesn't, so that ball bounces back. And the Raiders are on top 6-0. This time it's the Raiders striking with the big play. 70 yards from Elijah Taylor to Don Foster.
Yeah, great way for the offense to come out here, and it's a real push for the offense. Mooney got this tape from Benedictine. They knew that Elijah Taylor liked to throw to Don Foster, and to be able to take something that the defense knows you want to do, and from the first play of the game, go right at them and let them know you can't stop us even though you know what we want to do. Huge boost to the offense. We'll see this passing game as it goes on start to slowly open up that running game. Once you can get one going, the other one opens wide open for you. So great start for the offense, great start for the defense. We look to continue this on as the game flows.
Doherty on once again to do the kicking chores for the Raiders. And
Quick
we
whistle.
have, looks like the Raiders might have gotten a little bit of an early start on that. We're going to bring that back, and we're going to do it over again.
Yeah, unfortunate that missed extra point there. We talked last week about the importance of having a kicker that you can rely on. Doherty last week ended up, I believe, being 3 for 3 on his kicks. He did get a little help from that left upright. Obviously something he's going to want to work on, hooking that ball to the left there. But big hopes for this young freshman as we move forward in this 2020 season.
So Doherty tees it up again, this time at the 35-yard line. Kick is up and away, and it's going to be fielded around the 20-yard line. Fielded by number 22, Al Peccia. He gets the ball out to about the 32, 33-yard line for Carter Mooney, and it'll be Carter Mooney's turn once again, 1st and 10.
Yeah, so the defense comes out. Quick switch over there with the quick score by the offense. They had to do 2 3-and-outs on the last possession. Let's see if they can capitalize on kind of the pressure they've put on Mooney here now. Obviously, great offense leads to great defense. So we'll see how Mooney tries to respond to everything Harding's done to him thus far.
Quarterback Pat Carreri brings his offense back out on the field. The handoff is to Rogers. Rogers gets a few, kind of falls ahead to about the 37-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7.
And Mooney's playing traditional here. A couple first downs. They're trying to feel out that front 5 they've got there running the ball. They've really only tried to throw the ball in the passing situations, but the Raiders have been there every step of the way.
Handoff was to Zaire Rogers, 5'9", 175 pounds. junior running back for Mooney. This time he is joined in the backfield with Devontae Miller. And the handoff, this time Guerreri keeps it. And Guerreri's met hard at the line of scrimmage. He might have picked up one on that play. Looks like they're going to take it out to the 39-yard line. 3rd down and 5 upcoming.
Yeah, right now, you see Mooney, they got a lot of beef up front. Harding's got a lot of quickness up front. And right now that quickness is winning versus the beef. We'll see how that transpires as we get further into this game. See if those big linemen can start to wear down the Hardings, whether it's a front 3, front four. But right now the quickness that Harding's got on their front defensive line is obviously beating the beef that's up front for Mooney.
Guerreri under center this time. He's got Rogers behind him. Guerreri drops back. Short pass to number 22. That was Al Pachia. And that's going to bring up a Mooney first down on that completion. Gets it out to about the 46-yard line of Cardinal Mooney. And that's Guerreri's first completion of the evening.
So that's going to be the first down for Mooney, able to move the sticks there. Good field position here around midfield. First time that the Harding defense has given up the first down. Interesting to see how they respond.
Again, Guerreri is flanked by Miller and Rogers. And this time the handoff is again to Rogers and up the middle. There is absolutely nothing there. I think they're going to give him a 2-yard gain on his progress.
Yeah, I really like to see the penetration that they're getting by their. Looks like we got a Mooney player down. Looks like, really like to see the kind of penetration that the front 4 for that Harding defense is getting. Haven't been able to really see how much we're blitzing right now, but obviously if they can get that kind of pressure with just that front 4, that leaves that defensive coordinator an array of different options of how to attack this Mooney offense.
Jabari Felton leading the charge on the last tackle as the Mooney coaching staff tends to a down player. Can't see the number. Looks like maybe one of their linemen is down. Hopefully nothing serious. We'll wait this out, and hopefully the young man will be up and trotting off the field momentarily.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting up there. Good to see young man get up. Hopefully he can return. Looks like from how he's getting off the field, we should be able to see him back in action soon.
Number 56, Kerry Hewlett.
Kerry Hewlett, the injured Cardinal on the play. He was off under his own power. We have 2nd down and 8. Mooney at their own 48-yard line. Guerreri again under center. Zaire Rogers lined up directly behind him. And this time Guerreri's going to take it back to pass, rolling out to his right. Under pressure again. Fires downfield. And just overthrows Petchia. But
yeah, great pressure up front on the quarterback, forced him to make an ill-advised pass. Corners all over that. Looked like they were in a zone back there. You saw the safeties back ready. Looked like that was Jabari Felton providing that pressure there, but exactly how the Harding defense wanted to start this. Looks like they're going to get a sideline warning on the Raiders. Shouldn't be any penalty yards. Should be first one. Should be a warning.
the incomplete pass brings up a 3rd down and 8 for the Cardinals. 6:03 to play in this first quarter. Harding on a 6-0 early lead from a Taylor to Foster 70-yard touchdown pass. Guerreri steps back into the shotgun. He's looking to pass. He's going to keep this one up the middle. Quarterback draw. He's going to get the first down and more up to the Raider 40-yard line, inside the Raider 40 before he's pushed back. They're going to spot him at the 39. 1st and 10 Mooney at the Raider 39-yard line.
Yeah, great call there by the Mooney offense. Looked like they caught the Raiders in a zone. They were dropping back, expecting that pass. He was able to tuck it, able to pick up the 8 yards to continue this drive.
And now Mooney has a little something going as they get into Raider territory at the 39-yard line. 1st down and 10. Guerreri has Rogers lined up to his right. He's got 2 receivers at the top of the screen. And the Guerreri keeps it again up the middle. He doesn't have as much luck this time. Picks up a couple. Looks like a 2nd down and 8 coming up from the 37-yard line of Warren Harding.
If you remember, I think from last year, he had a good game, and a lot of it was on the ground. The quarterback from Mooney, senior this year, Pat Guerreri, this is his game. You know, he's able to tuck that ball, able to get the yards that he needs. Also has shown the ability to put the ball, you know, in his receiver's hands. So double threat for the Raider defense that they're going to have to respond to.
This time the handoff is to Rogers, and very little once again up the middle. Defensive line putting a stop to that one. Pick up another yard. Looks like the official has that spotted at the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 6 upcoming. Make it 3rd and 7.
Yeah, 3rd and 7. Mooney starting to surmount a drive here. This is exactly where you want to see your defense step up and put an end to this right here. They get 5 yards, they might find themselves in 4-down territory. So we'll see how the defense responds to this 3rd and 7 for Mooney.
We haven't seen the Mooney kicker yet, but it's not unusual for them to have someone back there with a strong leg, so they might not be too far out of field goal position. Looks like we're going to get a timeout for Youngstown Cardinal Mooney, their first of the half here at 4:02 of the first quarter. Going to talk over this upcoming 3rd and 7 play.
Yeah, big down here for Mooney. Now the coaching staff over there, they know where they're at on the field. You know, they know they're down in distance, what they need. They know what they're looking at for this to be 4-down territory right here if they're comfortable with it this early in the game. So obviously for the Raiders side, you're looking to make a stop here. But if Mooney's decided this is 4-down territory, that opens up the playbook for him to either run the ball or pass the ball. Raiders have shown in the past to be real blitz heavy. They like to send people after the quarterback. Last week, Benedictine started to recognize some of that. They hit some of those pop passes over the middle, some of those screen plays. Were able to extend some drives. So it'll be interesting to see what Mooney learned from some of those tapes and how they decide to attack this defense on this early big 3rd and 7.
And Mooney offense heads back out on the field. Once again, we have 3rd down and 7. Mooney is at the Raider 36-yard line. And once more, both Miller and Rogers in the backfield with quarterback Pat Guerreri. Guerreri sets up between the two in the shotgun formation. And he's going to drop back to pass, looking out to his left, over the middle. And that ball is picked off! Number 26, I think that is Bryson Powell with the interception. Big play for that Raider defense. 1st and 10, Warren Harding.
Just like we said just like we said in the beginning of the game, those Raider defensive backs last week were all over those receivers. Right position to make the plays. They were knocking balls down. We would have liked to seen some of those turn into interceptions. Prayers were answered here with number 26, Bryson Powell, coming up with the first big defensive play for the Raiders.
Raiders have it 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Elijah Taylor, once again, it looks like he's got Marco Paterno back there behind him. And the handoff is to Paterno, and there is nothing up the middle for Harding this time. Looks like he's going to lose a yard on that play back to the 32-yard line. Brings up a 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, going back to the run game, Harding is, through the history, Harding has never been short on great running backs. Obviously, those great running backs by a man would tell you they wouldn't be great running backs without great offensive linemen. Offensive linemen need to take it personal. They need to take it personal when their running back gets stopped. So looking for big things out of those front 5 this week.
2nd down 11. Dom Foster at the top of your screen. He caught that 70-yard touchdown pass earlier. And Taylor is looking over that way. He's got Foster on a quick out. Foster with one move. He's going to get the 1st down out to about the 46-yard line.
Oh, the quarterback noticed the type of room that they were giving Dom Foster, respecting the speed and the agility. He was able to hit him out there in the flats. One little quick shimmy shake, He was out there for the first down. Brand new set of downs for the Raider offense.
Clock winding down the first quarter. Just under 3 minutes to play in that first quarter. Foster down here to the near sideline. And
maybe some movement.
Remember,
somebody lined up in the
neutral zone. Looks like the Mooney defense got a little too close on that one, and that's going to give that Harding offense 5 yards.
Looks like that might have been their right defensive end, 51, Will Stracchetta. Senior lined up in the neutral zone.
Up to the Mooney 49-yard line, where it's going to be first down and 5. Chester Adams, the motion man in there, and again, the handoff up the middle to Paterno, and once again, that middle closes up very fast. Paterno's going to lose a yard back to the Raider 49-yard line, maybe 2 yards. Make a second down and 7 coming up.
Yeah, it looked like they might have pulled a guard from the right-hand side. He couldn't get that buttocks out of the way, and the running back unfortunately ended up running right up the back of him for a loss of a yard or two there. So that's going to bring up, looks like about 2nd and 7 for the Raiders.
Foster and Davion Burgess are on this near sideline. Elijah Taylor back in that shotgun once again. And they hand off once more to Paterno. This time Paterno's got some running room, and he's going to get up there close to a first down. I think he's got it at the Cardinal Mooney 43-yard line. Finally some running room for a Raider running back on that play.
Yeah, it looks like he hit for about a gain of 7-8 yards there, probably the largest gain on the ground thus far. I can tell you as a former running back, once you can kind of get those wheels moving a little bit, gives you more confidence, and so we'll see if they try to build off of that.
Tom Foster and Imari Burgess are lined up on this side. Elijah Taylor with Paterno to his right. That's Imari in the motion. Imari's going to get that end around sweep. And he's going to pick up 4 or 5 on that play. Looks like about 5 yards. Nice first down gain for the Raiders.
Yeah, jet sweep to the right. Mooney was able to get some penetration. Running back was able to avoid him for a big loss. End up picking up 5 yards on the play.
That moves it ahead to the Mooney 38-yard line. 2nd down and 5 coming up. Like number 20, Cheney Ringgold, has checked into the ball game for Harding. Foster once again lined up down here on the near sideline. Keep an eye on him. He is turning into one of Elijah Taylor's favorite targets. Screen out here to Davion Burgess. Burgess around the corner. Burgess is going to pick up a first down. There is a flag down on the play.
Looks like they're going to call a hold out there. We'll see what they got.
Complete to number 6, Davion Burgess. Penalty flag on the play. Tackle on the play with number 12, Jordan Sheeting.
And looks like you're right about that, Eddie. I think a hold is going to bring that play back. 10, 11-yard gain. That's going to be negated. Davion Burgess on the screen play, gets around the end, picks up what looked to be a first down. Unfortunately, there was a hold downfield on the play. That's going to back the Raiders up.
You get out there on those screens like that, wide receivers, they're used to catching balls and running fast. When it comes down to the blocking aspect, you know, they do what they can do. They're used to crack back in that, but unfortunately they got caught out there using their hands, and that's going to negate a big play. But because it is a spot penalty, they still will get some yards, bringing up to 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5, and it looks like an awful short 2nd and 5, almost 2nd and 4. Taylor looking down to the right. He's got a man open on the flats. That ball's completed at the 21-yard line, inside the 20, still on his feet at the 15, inside the 15-yard line. Davion Burgess, 1st and 10, Raiders.
Yeah, real nice there. The wide receivers were able to clear out there, running some streak patterns, taking the corner and the safety out of the play. You saw number 6 there, Davion Burgess, slip out in there in the flats. Elijah Taylor was able to identify him, hit him with that quick pass. Big play for the first down, bringing it inside the Mooney 20-yard line as we end this first quarter.
And that big pass play is going to bring it into the first quarter. End of one. Raiders 6, Mooney nothing. We'll be opening up the second quarter in just a moment or two with the Raiders 1st and 10 at the Cardinal Mooney 15-yard line.
Well, Tom, absolutely the way the Raiders wanted to start this game. Big play, when they started their offense. Defense has been stellar out there with some big stops, with a big interception, turning into this drive here inside the Mooney 20 as we start the second quarter. But I want to go back to something we talked about last week. Just the fact that we're out here tonight. With everything that's going on right now with COVID, to see the smiles on the faces, and a big shout out to the students and the faculty that put WSCN on. I know people are disappointed because they can't come to the game, just the parents, but it's a great way for us to be able to watch these games. And I want to take 1 second. I want to take a shout out to a good friend of mine, Jamal Franklin. He's out there watching in his backyard with his dad. We thank all of you that are out there that are supporting WSCN, Warren City Schools, Warren Harding football. It's different, but it's football. I'm excited. The team's here, the band's here, the cheerleaders is here. My good buddy Jamal Franklin's at home in the backyard watching the game. Just a great night.
And there's the handoff to Paterno, trying to get around that left end, and he had it for a moment, but he's backed up by that Mooney defensive line. No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 at the 15.
Yeah, stuffed on the run again, but you don't want to give up on it. You don't want to get one-dimensional. You don't want them like last week where Benedictine was able to jump into that dime defense and dare him to throw it, making it a lot more difficult on the quarterback. You got to keep the team, you got to keep that defense honest with some of these run plays. If Dom Foster it can go up, get those balls, that is great, but you got to give the quarterback some help. You got to be able to make them respect the fact that you can run the ball.
Bryson Powell checks in at running back. Quick pass over here to, looks like number 10, Damari Freeman. Freeman picks up a few down to about the 12-yard line.
Looks like that's going to bring up a 2-yard gain on that. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 right now.
3rd down and 8, the ball's over 13 yards.
Second quarter just underway with Raiders on top 6-0 over Youngstown Cardinal Mooney. We have a 3rd down and 8 at the Mooney 13-yard line. Bryson Powell remains in, lined up behind Elijah Taylor. Taylor
got
rolls out to his left.
him wide
Taylor's
open.
got a man in the corner of the end zone.
Did he get a foot down? Touchdown!
And that is ruled a touchdown.
Excellent footwork.
Trying to see what we got over there in the corner on that play.
Is that 10?
I believe that is that number 6. Is that Davion Burgess on that one? I'm not sure.
Or was that 10?
I think that was number 6, Davion Burgess.
Had two.
Yep, Davion Burgess on that reception in the corner. Managed to get a foot down, and it is 12-0 Harding.
Had 2 receivers open there in the flats. Looked like that bootleg to the left there. Had 2 receivers to choose from. He was able to, all the official was looking for is to make sure he maintained control of the ball.
Jake Doherty. And this time, young Jake Doherty splits the uprights. 13-0 lead. Warren Harding with 10:17 to play in the half. 2 touchdown passes for Elijah Taylor so far in the ball game. A long one to Don Foster, and one down here on the Mooney side of the field to Davion Burgess.
Yeah, Tom, exactly how the Raiders wanted to come out this week. Wanted to establish themselves, wanted to establish that offensive line, proving, their 3-year starter quarterback is obviously the leader of this team right now, driving them down the field on 2 possessions, 2 big touchdowns, putting them up 13-0. Defenses looked great out there. With 10:17 left in this first half, look for this defense to do big things, get off the field, get the offense back on the field.
Speaking of shout-outs, I'll send one out to my 7th period statistics class. I told them I'd say hi to them today. I'm not sure they believe me when I said I'd do it, but hey guys, have a great weekend. Hope you're enjoying the ball game. Jake Daugherty in to kick it off once again for Warren Harding. AJ Peccia back there, along with, I believe, Zaire Rogers on the other side. A short kick, be handled by one of the up men at the 27-yard line. He breaks through the line. That's Devontae Miller on that return. Brings it out almost to the 40-yard line. It's going to give Cardinal Mooney pretty good field position here to start this possession. Looks like they're going to spot them down right at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Cardinal Mooney at their own 40.
Yeah, short kick by the young freshman there. Going to give Mooney pretty good field position here at their own 40-yard line. Defense has been pretty stellar thus far. Looks like they're going to come out and traditional 4-3. Maybe that safety walked up on a 4-4.
Zaire Rogers lining up behind quarterback Pat Guerreri. Good to see number 56, Kerry Hewlett, back out there. He was the Cardinal down. Rogers with the ball, and Rogers gets tripped up, falls ahead for a couple yards. They'll call it 2nd down and 8, out to about the 42-yard line.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for this defense. You saw them come out in a 4-4 last year. We saw them run a lot of 4-4. Within that 4-4, they like to blitz. They like to put a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Just on the play by number 51, Kincaid Tyson.
Zaire Rogers lines up to the left of Pat Guerreri. Little bobble on the snap there, but Guerreri keeps it. He's going to get some yards. He's going to get a 1st down all the way into Raider territory, down about the 45-yard line. So Guerreri turned nothing into something on that play. Bobbled the snap on that. I don't think that's what they meant to do, but it worked out well for Mooney.
Yeah, it looks like they might have had a play design there where that could have been a direct snap maybe to the running back, or it was just bad timing in the backfield. One of the two. Something I'm sure up in the box there watching for that possibility, the direct snap to the running back. But Mooney quarterbacks have shown us over the years, not only are they able to put it up in the air and complete some passes, but these quarterbacks are hard-nosed. They're not afraid to tuck and run, lower their shoulders, get some yards, and we've seen some speed. We've seen some speed from these quarterbacks. We've seen them break big runs. So always a positive when you have a double threat from your quarterback. But the Harding defense has been able to step up to the challenge thus far. 9:01 left in the quarter in Raider territory. Let's see how they respond.
Here's a handoff once again to Rogers, and Rogers is smothered at the 46-yard line. No gain on the play.
Jack on the play by number 73, Sam Walden.
Looked like that was the big man, number 73. Talked about him last week. That's where it starts up front. He's got to demand a double team. He's got to demand the respect. He needs to be a problem out there.
2nd down and 10 at the Raider 46 for Cardinal Mooney. Rogers remains back there to the right of Pat Guerreri. And this time Guerreri's looking, he keeps it. He had the option, he opted to keep it, gets a few yards. Looks like a gain of about 2. 3rd down and 8. Another 3rd down and long coming up for that Mooney offense.
Yeah, 3rd and 8. Last time I think they had a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10. We were thinking pass. Quarterback with a designed run was able to pick up that 1st down. So we'll see what Coach Arnold and the defense draw up on this play.
Yeah, and their quarterback's the biggest guy in that backfield at 6 foot, 200 pounds. So he gets through that line of scrimmage. He's going to be a chore for those defensive backs to bring down, so they have to keep him contained.
And what we've seen, he's got a little bit of speed to go with that strength.
Guerreri looking downfield. It's got Peccia out in the flats. Peccia with the completion.
See where they
down to about the 36-yard line. That's going to be awful close to 1st down. They're giving him the 35. That's going to be a 1st down for Mooney. 1st and 10, Cardinal Mooney. They're moving the chains once again. Guerreri to Peccia out in the flats on that completion.
Yeah, a little mix-up in the defense there. Peccia slipped out from the backfield, found himself wide open in the flats. The corner safety were able to come up quickly to converge on that to make, to stop it where it was without allowing them for a bigger play there.
Guerreri stays in that shotgun formation. It's been a little while since he's been under center. And this time he's going to keep it. He's got some room up the middle. He's going to pick up 5, 6, maybe a couple more. It looks like 7 on that play, all the way down to the Raider 28-yard line.
Yeah, nice read there. Defensive end did his job, forced him back into the middle. Unfortunately, there wasn't a linebacker or a safety to come up there and fill the hole. Nice play there, 7 yards on first down, exactly what you want. Puts the offense in a great position here. Playbook's wide open for them on a 2nd and 3.
2nd down and 3 for quarterback Pat Guerreri of Youngstown Cardinal Mooney. And there's the handoff to Rogers. Rogers gets around that left end. Rogers has some running room all the way down to the 10. Inside the 10, it's going to be 1st and goal. Cardinal Mooney at the Raider 9-yard line.
Yeah, big run by Mooney there. Probably one of the bigger runs that's been hit on the Raiders this season in the last 2 games. Right off the left-hand side there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to see what defense they were in right there. But need those. Look, defensive lineman's job is to keep those offensive linemen off of the linebackers. You get offensive linemen on those linebackers, that means a safety or corner has to make a tackle. Safeties and corners making tackles means first downs.
Marquand Brown and Kurt Dorsey on the tackle, keeping Rogers out of the end zone. Raiders take their first time out of the half at 6:11 of the 2nd quarter, sitting on a 13-0 lead at the moment. But Cardinal Mooney now finds themselves knocking at the Raider front door.
Yeah, you see a little more pep in the step of this offense right here. You know, you see the timeout called, bring the team over there. Have that talk with them, talk about the assignments, make sure everybody is on the right page right now. Look, it's a 13-point lead right now, but 1 touchdown obviously changes that. That missed extra point could loom very large as we get towards the later end of the 4th quarter. So we look to see a big stand here, try to hold them to 3, get that ball back at halftime, put this game out of reach.
Mercy Health, Basilio's Restaurant, Trumbull Regional Medical, Diane Sarr Chevrolet, Valley Counseling.
Beautiful night over here at Mollenkoff Stadium. Very comfortable temperatures. You can almost start to feel that autumn crispness start to get into the air in these evenings.
Start seeing the leaves fall. You know, we live in a great part of the country. We get every single season, and you know, you take that drive down 422 west, and you start to see the leaves change. It's a beautiful sight until they fall in my yard and somebody has to pick them up. Just like the snow. It's a beautiful sight until I got to get out there and I got to shovel it. But that's why I have a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old now.
1st and goal, Mooney at the Raider 9-yard line. High snap, hand off to Rogers up the middle. He's going to pound it ahead to about the 6-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. Brings up 2nd and goal at the Raiders' 6-yard line.
Tackle on the play by number 41, Jabari Felton, number 4.
Jabari Felton in on a stop.
That's going to bring it down to the 6-yard line. Look, defense knows what they need to do. Sticks are down. This is in goal. You got 4 downs to stop them.
Coming up on 5.5 minutes left in this first half. Guerreri stays in that shotgun. He's got Devontae Miller to his right. Guerreri's going to keep. He's going to try to get around that end. And that gets closed down, and Guerreri's going to go down for no gain, maybe a loss of a half yard. 3rd and goal at the Raiders' 6.
I'll tell you what you like to see on that, Tom. He tried to hit the right-hand side. He had one of the safeties that looked like came up. He was in a kind of a race with him. But what you really like to see from the coaching staff is you saw all 11 hats coming to the ball. Nobody was standing around. Everybody was trying to make the tackle. That is the sign of a successful defense.
3rd and goal at the 6. We're under 5 minutes of play in this first half. Mooney trying to get themselves on the board. Currently down 13-0.
See, they're spreading them out with those twins down on our side. We'll see if he's going to tuck and run on this. Looks like some movement by number 5. That is Chris Marshall, senior, with a little bit of a lapse there, and that's going to hurt and bring him back to the 11-yard line. Now, as an offense, you're not that mad about it. If you had a pass play drawn up, you want a little more room. You know, when you're down there on the 6-yard line and you drop back to pass, you got 11 guys on the other side. It kind of bobbles everything up there. This is going to give that Mooney offense a little more room to operate. So the Raider corners and safeties got to be ready.
And Guerreri steps back pass. He's looking over the middle. And that ball is knocked down, trying to catch a number over there. I think that might have been, could have been Bryson Powell once again getting a hand in there.
Yeah, you know, the first 2 games of the season, corners have been there all night. That pass was a little bit behind the receiver, but even if it was on point, the corner was right there ready to make the play.
That was indeed Bryson Powell in there. Number 42, Brian Philbin, on to attempt what looks to be about a 28-yard field goal attempt. And that kick is up. It's got the distance, and it is good. Mooney on the board, courtesy of a 28-yard field goal from Brian
42?
Philbin, senior kicker for Mooney.
Well, you like
score 13-3 Harding.
You know, you never want to see him give up points, but you know the bend don't break defense there. Mooney had that ball, I believe, with a 2nd down. Deep inside Raider territory on the 6-yard line. Penalty pushed that back to the 11. But, you know, if I'm a coach and I'm looking out there, I like to see that bend don't break. Mooney had a nice drive, but when it came down to it, that Harding defense was able to step up and hold him to 3 points. With 4:09 left, you'd love to see that Harding defense go down there, get one more score, and get that ball back at halftime and truly put this game far out of reach.
Kick from Philbin. That looks like it's going to go out of bounds. Oh,
Yep.
Just barely sneaks out of bounds. Took a while to get there, but we got it there.
Yeah, he was there to recover it, but it's like baseball, watching that ball go down the 3rd baseline, and the 3rd baseman sitting there waiting to see, is it going to kick foul, is it going to stay? Almost kind of in no man's land there. Worked out for the Raiders, though.
So the Raiders are going to get the ball way up on, looks like they're going to start first attempt at 35 after that out of bounds kick. Elijah Taylor back out there with the Raider offense. Tom Foster down here on the near sideline.
It's like Elijah Smith on the carry.
Smith checks in. He gets the call. Pickup of about, looks like 3 yards out to the 38-yard line. Brings up a 2nd down and 7.
Elijah Smith, another senior here on senior night. We've been watching him since he was a sophomore. Got considerable playing time. Very impressed with his toughness, his ability to put his head down and get those couple extra yards.
Kurt Dorsey heading out there towards the far sideline. Dom Foster down here on the near sideline. Elijah Smith stays in the backfield with Elijah Taylor. 2nd down and 7. And this time Taylor keeps it, rolls to his left. Hits number 22, Marco Paterno over there. Nice gain on that 2nd down play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short. They've got it spotted at the 47-yard line, so a 3rd down and 3 upcoming. 42-yard line, 42-yard line of Harding.
Yeah, nice play by Elijah Taylor hitting Paterno out there in the flats. Found himself wrapped up, but he didn't complete the play. He was able to break the tackle, spin away, get himself a couple extra yards, and put this into a 3rd and manageable for the Raider offense.
Both Elijah Smith and Paterno. Sorry, that's Elijah Taylor back there. I thought the 2nd running back was in. Paterno's up in the up position. Hand off to Smith up the middle. Smith pounds ahead for the 1st down out to about the 46-yard line. That's going to give Harding a 1st down at that point, 1st and 10.
Late flag
on the
coming in
play.
there for the hold.
And we've got a hold upcoming on the Harding offense. That's going to take back that first down, push the Raider offense back a few yards.
Yeah, holding penalties really hurt you. That 10-yard penalty, that could be a drive killer. Nice run there, the powerful run that we expect and have been used to seeing from Elijah Smith. Unfortunately, that's going to get called back on a hold. Take that from a 3rd and 3. Raiders offense is going to come back with a 3rd and 13 here.
Moves the ball all the way back to the Harding 32-yard line. Bryson Powell checking into the backfield alongside Elijah Taylor. Taylor steps back to pass, a lot of pressure, and he's got to get rid of it to avoid the sack.
Now it looks like they might have had that set up. It looked like they were trying to set up that middle screen. They got the blitz they wanted. Unfortunately, it looked like Taylor couldn't find his receiver in all that mix, but looked like they had that drawn up perfectly. Middle screen, they sent the blitz. Unfortunately, Taylor wasn't able to find his receiver on that.
So the Raiders go from having a first down near midfield. Now they are punting from deep in their own territory. Elijah Taylor handling the punting chores. Sets up inside his 20. And Taylor gets off a nice boot that time. Fair catch inside the 30-yard line. Petchia with the fair catch at about the, looks like they're giving him the 27-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 Mooney. Elijah Taylor with a nice punt there. Had a couple shaky ones last week. Perhaps he's getting used to that kicking chore and got off a nice one that time.
It's nice when you can have your quarterback also be a punter. Obviously, he's got to keep that defense on their toes for that punt return. Makes them real hesitant to try to send that punt block, knowing that the quarterback's back there and he can pull up and throw that pass. So just another weapon for the Raider offense or the Raider punt team to be able to utilize sometime later in this season.
2:36 left in the first half. Raiders with a 13-3 lead right now over Cardinal Mooney. Mooney's got a 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line. Looking to try to put some points on the board here before the halftime. Raiders will get the ball back to start the second half. Guerreri steps back to pass, looking down the sideline. That ball is caught over there on the far sideline by number 19, Jack Phillips, inside Raider territory, down to the Raider 46-yard line, 1st and 10, Mooney.
Yeah, quarterback had time, found the one-on-one coverage out there. Corner was there. He made a decision. He had a play on the ball, but if he would have missed it, that would have been a touchdown. That would have been a big play for Mooney. He made a decision. He played it safe, allowed for the catch, allowed for the tackle, lived to play another down.
So Mooney 1st down and 10 off the big pass completion. Guerreri looking again, fires over here, and that ball is complete to number 16, James Hoffman. Up around the 46-yard line, gain of about 5 on the play. 2nd down and 5 coming up.
You see Mooney with a little sense of urgency on this drive. 2:11 left. They've got all 3 timeouts. They'd love to put some points on the board before halftime, knowing that they got to give the ball back to this Raider offense for the start of the second half.
Quarterback Pat Guerreri for the Cardinals. Looking like he's finding himself a little bit of a rhythm now, working into it. Couple nice passes to get this drive going. 2nd down and 5 at the Raider 46-yard line. And the quarterback draw up the middle, and Guerreri's got some room. He's going to get a 1st down up to the 35-yard line. We've seen that play before for a 1st down.
Yeah, Mooney hitting on all cylinders right now. Completed a couple pass plays, started to loosen up that defense, start to drop back into that, pass coverage. That's going to open up some room for the quarterback. He obviously is willing to exploit it for another 1st down with about 1:30 left here in the first half.
1st and 10 at the Raider 35-yard line for Youngstown Cardinal Mooney.
Oh, where's the flag? There it is.
And I think we've got a little bit of early movement on that Mooney offense. That's going to back him up 5 yards to the 40-yard line, bring up a 1st down and 15.
Yeah, it looked like the receiver here to the near side Little early jump. Looked like he was coming for possibly a crackback. You see him coming straight down the line there.
Looked like they had Petya in motion coming this way. They might have been looking at that sweep with Petya on that play.
Well, a trick your coaches try to teach you is a running back wide receiver. If you ever jump, try to just go in motion. I can tell you, it doesn't work. I tried it.
First down and 15. The Raider 40-yard line. Petya in motion once again.
Another one.
Whistle on a play. And Mooney jumps again. A little too much motion over there on that offense. That's going to back them up to the 45-yard line and bring up a first down and 20 with less than a minute to play in the half. So Mooney with a real positive start to this drive, shooting themselves in the foot right now as they try to get some points on the board. They've just made it that much tougher. First down and 20. Petya once again in motion. Guerreri back. He's going to keep it. He's going to tuck it and roll. He's out of the pocket. He's hit around the 37-yard line. Marion Perkins gets him down there at about the 35. Back to the original line of scrimmage where it's going to be second down and 10. And Mooney uses another timeout, their second of the half, with 28 seconds to play.
A lot of poise showed there by the senior quarterback. You got 2 false start penalties in a row. A lot of times this is where you start seeing people yelling in the huddle. Guys getting frustrated, coaches on the sideline getting frustrated. Great poise by that senior quarterback there. Drop back in the pocket. Look, they saw Harding in a zone. He had somebody open early, but that safety came up and got him down that right-hand seam there. He was able to tuck it, bring this back down to a more manageable second and 10 for the Mooney offense with 28 seconds left. They're going to take their timeout. They've got 1 left, 28 seconds left in the first half.
Okay, second down and 10. Mooney's offense back out on the field. Raider 35-yard line, 28 ticks on the clock. 13-3, Warren Harding lead. Mooney trying to get something on the board before they take it in for halftime. And Guerreri drops back to pass. He's under a lot of pressure back there. Gets the pass off. And I don't think either receiver thought the ball was for him. That ball falls incomplete. Brings up a third down and 10 with 21 seconds to play.
Yeah, good pressure there coming up the middle. Forced the quarterback out of the pocket there with the scramble. Looks like he had 2 receivers out there. Kind of threw it in the middle of them there. Maybe just throwing the ball away to stop the clock and live for another down. 3rd and 10 here. Pretty decent yard, from the 35-yard line. I wouldn't doubt that this is 4-down territory for Mooney.
Kincaid Tyson providing the pressure on that last pass play as Guerreri steps back to pass once again, looking down that right sideline. He's got a man over, but he can't hang on to it. Looked like he had number 19, Jack Phillips, over there. Phillips had the ball in his hands, but just could not haul it in.
Phillips had the ball in his hand, but that corner came up. I couldn't tell if that was the corner or the safety, but that could have easily been a pick 6 the other way.
If nothing else, maybe Mr. Phillips heard some footsteps over there.
Yeah, you get what they call them alligator arms. Yeah, it looks like the safety. You saw the safety come in the last second. He probably sensed that, had some alligator arms, let that ball go.
4th down and 10 at the 35-yard line. 15 seconds left in the first half. Guerreri steps back to pass again. Looking out in the flat, he's got Petya, overthrows Petya, and it's going to be Raider football. And I can imagine right now, Ed, I think the Raiders are going to be content to kneel on this one and take this lead into the half, not doing anything reckless down here.
Yeah, you got 10 seconds left. You've got your 2 touchdowns, but it's early. This is COVID season. Anything can happen. I wouldn't be surprised. Coach has got him on the sideline there. I wouldn't be surprised to see possibly a play action. See if you can hit Dom Foster down the sideline on a quick one. Maybe get a penalty called.
That Taylor to Foster connection, that's starting to take root. We saw it a couple times last week. We saw it on the 70-yard touchdown play earlier today. Well, they're not set up to take a knee. They're in their regular formation. Elijah Smith is back in the backfield behind Elijah Taylor.
He's got.
And the handoff is to Smith. Smith gets some running room around that left end. But he's met hard right there. He's trying to power in. I think he picked up about 2 on that play. Looks like they're going to bring it out to about just outside the 37-yard line. And that's going to do it for the first half. The Raiders take a 13-3 lead over Youngstown Cardinal Mooney in the locker room. Courtesy of a couple touchdown passes by Elijah Taylor, a long one to Dom Foster, 70 yards, and a shorter one to Davion Burgess. Sit back, relax. Looks like we're going to have the Raider band out on the field for their normal halftime show this evening. We'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll bring you the second half.
This year we perform our show 2020 as we present a year in review through music. Our show opens with a song from the 90s by the group The Offspring. Here is The Kids Aren't All Right. First up is the Raider flag line to Bad Guy, followed by this year's drumline feature, and ending with the 2020 Majorettes performance to Mic Drop.
have high hopes for the future. The Raider Band would like to thank all of you for being a wonderful audience tonight. Now join us as we cheer on our Raider team.
Great job, as always, by that Warren Harding Raider Marching Band. Nice to see the kids out there performing their traditional halftime show. Got a couple minutes left before that opening second half kickoff. Raiders going to get the ball to start off the second half. Raiders sitting on a 13-3 lead over Youngstown Cardinal Mooney. Once again, courtesy of a couple of Elijah Taylor touchdown passes. Taylor hit Dom Foster for a long one, 70 yards in the first quarter. And then up here at the Mooney end of the field, the 13, 15-yard touchdown pass to Davion Burgess to close out the Raiders scoring for the half. Jake Doherty, young freshman kicker, 1 for 2 on the extra points. A little bit later in the half, Mooney was able to drive down and get a 28-yard field goal out of senior kicker Brian Philibin. And that's where we stand at 13-3 as we get set to get the second half going here.
Yeah, a lot of positive things to take from that first half on the Harding side. Defense, the bend don't break, gave up those 3. Mooney had the ball inside the 6, penalty pushed him back to the 11. Harding able to hold him out of the end zone to just the 3 points. Really like what we've seen thus far out of the quarterback, senior Elijah Taylor. Big connection, deep to start the game off to Dom Foster, just starting off where he left off last week with his, I believe, 8 receptions, 120 yards. This time, we talked about in the beginning of the game, the defense, the corners, they were there. Unfortunately, unable to turned some of those tip passes last week into interceptions. We saw that this week with the big interception, getting that Mooney offense off the field, bringing the Harding offense on. Harding, it's been difficult right now for Mooney to stop. I believe I've seen one punt by Harding thus far, but I can't believe that the coaching staff isn't in there really challenging these offensive linemen personally to get this running game established. We've seen a couple decent runs. We've seen a couple different running backs in there able to chip away some yards just to keep the defense honest, but really want to see that Harding front five take control of the line of scrimmage to really open up not just the run game, but the pass game as well. Never want to be one-dimensional. Look to see what they do in this second half. Never want to look ahead. Want to get this W under the belt, but very hard not to know that Massillon waits in the wings with that 50-0 loss, or 55-0 loss last year in the playoffs. So interested in this first half. Great night for football. Harding's up 13-3. We'll see what the second half brings us.
And the clock has ticked down on halftime. Harding getting set to send its return team out. Harding will be defending it looks like possibly the south end of the field to begin this second half. It'll be the right side of your viewing screen. Mooney will be bringing the kicking team out momentarily. Once again, senior kicker Brian Philibin setting up to getting the tee set up on the 40-yard line, getting ready to send it away. Looks like Amari Burgess and Bryson Powell are going to set up deep. I see Elijah Smith out there as well, one of the up backs. Good to see Elijah Smith get a few carries in that first half. Seemed to add a little spark to that running game, the big senior running back. We'll see some more of him in the second half. Philibin with a high kick. Going to be fielded around the 10-yard line by Bryson Powell. Powell breaks up the field. Powell's got some running room. Powell all the way out to the 35-yard line, giving the Raiders some good field position to open up this second half.
Yeah, Powell able to get the wheels turning there. Nice return out to the 35-yard line. If he was able to break that last tackle there, could have been trouble for Mooney, but the offense is going to take over out here, like we said. We can't say enough about Elijah Taylor. Elijah Taylor, I believe, all-time leading in touchdown passes, all-time leading in yards for the Raiders. We know what they can do in passing. Really would like to see these front five take control of this offensive line and establish that running game for the Raiders.
Elijah Smith checks in at running back to open up the second half. He's back there with Elijah Taylor. We've got Amari Burgess, Dom Foster lined up down here on the near sideline. Davion Burgess. Burgess will get the screen pass. He was in motion trying to find some room around that end, trying to turn it up. And he's going to turn it for a gain of a couple anyway. Does a good job getting 2 or 3 yards out of that.
Yeah, Burgess trying to use his speed out there. He had a one-on-one, kind of stuttered him, thought about going back to the inside, felt he had a step on him, tried to get to the outside. Basically a long run play there with that screen play. We're going to bring up a 2nd and 7 here for the Raider offense.
Give Burgess 3 yards on that reception out to the 38-yard line. Dom Foster once again down on this sideline. The Raiders send 4 receivers to the right. Taylor with Elijah Smith to his right. Taylor steps back looking for Foster. Foster with the look and go.
Got a step.
Foster open at the 25-yard line, and Foster could not haul that one in.
Once again, the line gave him time. Quarterback took his reads, found his receiver down the sideline. Looked like they had a safety back, but the safety let Dom Foster get behind him, had 2-3 steps, put it on just a dime pass right there, right down the sideline. Unfortunately, right through the breadbasket for Dom Foster.
Had that little stutter step and go, and the secondary bid on that fake, and Foster got the couple steps he needed, just could not haul that pass in. Taylor going to put it right on the money.
It's going to bring up a big down here for the Raiders, 3rd and 7 in their own territory. Obviously want to keep a drive going here, put another score on the board.
Taylor back to pass again, looking over to the far side of the line. And that ball is almost picked off over there by A.J. Petchia. Threw it into double coverage that time. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 7.
Yeah, they had a safety back deep. Safety didn't let the receiver get behind him there. Threw up that ball. Really lucky to get that ball back here for the 4th and 7, the ability to punt.
Elijah Taylor back in to do the punting chores. A.J. Petchia sets back on his own 25-yard line awaiting this kick. Taylor got a nice boot off in the first half in his only punt attempt. See what happens here.
There's
going to be motion on that line. Looks like the right side was getting into play a little bit earlier. It's going to back the punt team up another 5 yards. And we'll do it all over again. Second half just underway, 11:30 to play. Raiders had the kickoff, appear to be driving, had a shot at a long pass play, and now they find themselves punting. Elijah Taylor standing inside his own 20-yard line awaiting the snap. A.J. Petchia for Cardinal Mooney sets up on the Mooney 30-yard line. Some counting going on out there. We got everybody on the field. I'm not sure.
I counted Harding. We've got 11.
Okay, looks like we're all ready to roll. Let's going to get this snap off here. They put another second back on the clock, make it 11:31 left in the third quarter. And now we're set to get back into action. Good snap. Taylor with a high kick. Petchia is going to field that.
Oh,
and that ball's loose.
Ours.
That looks like Raider football at the 40-yard line. Petchia bobbles the punt. Raider football at the Mooney 39-yard line. 1st and 10, Harding.
You know, you mentioned it on the first punt. Elijah Taylor last week, you know, we like seeing him coming out there because of the versatility having your quarterback at punter, but it was some low line drive kicks, not a lot of opportunity for that punt team to really do much, but now he's found the ability to put that ball high up in the air, get those fly guys down there, cause some confusion for the returner. Worked out perfectly. Raiders are going to take over now inside Mooney territory. This is where you need to put your foot on them, drive this ball down, put the score in the end zone.
1st and 10 Raiders at the Mooney 39-yard line off the muffed punt by Mooney. Taylor's got Elijah Smith set up behind him. Dom Foster lined up down here on the near sideline. Keep an eye on him. He is swift, becoming one of the favorite targets. They hand off up the middle to Smith. Smith with a big gain up the middle on 1st down. Down to about the 33-yard line. Looks like a 2nd down and 4 coming up. Good 6-yard run play on that 1st down.
Yeah, nice run by Elijah Smith there. Really want to see them get this going. That offensive line's got to take it personal, like I said. Nice 6-yard run, nice powerful run. Exactly what you want to see out of your senior running back.
Second down and 4 at the 33-yard line. They hand off again to Elijah Smith. Elijah Smith with another hole. Elijah Smith inside the 20, all the way down to the Mooney 16-yard line. 1st and 10 Raiders.
Yeah, nice job by the running back there. Don't like to see a lot of dancing in the backfield, but he was able to take his time, pick his hole, let the offensive lineman open up those gaps for him. Able to gash that Mooney defense for a nice gain.
And the Raider ground game has made an appearance this evening. Elijah Smith with a couple big runs all the way down to the Mooney 16-yard line. It's going to be Raiders 1st down and 10. Mooney takes a timeout to try and stop the momentum, get their defense in order. 10:33 still to play in the third quarter.
But, you know, halftime, Tom, is all about adjustments. Obviously, Mooney went in the locker room, saw all of the, saw the deficiencies they had in the passing game. So they're looking, to defend that pass, to defend against somebody like Dom Foster, to defend against Elijah Taylor. Probably got those safeties, those corners, bailing quicker than you'd like them to. Offense able to take advantage of that here in the first in their first drive, looking good. What we expect to see out of a Harding team with some hard running and some nice gains for first downs.
Officials calling for the teams back on the field. Timeout's over. Mooney's got their defense set. First and 10 Raiders at the Mooney 16-yard line. The Raiders looking to make a statement early in this third quarter and start to put this game out of reach. Elijah Smith remains in the backfield with Elijah Taylor. And the handoff once again to Elijah Smith. And again, Elijah Smith has the room. There is a flag on the play on that one. Nice pickup by Smith on first down, but
I think they're going to call a hold there, but I'll tell you, it looks like they pulled a guard, and they also had 41, Jabari Felton, came through as a lead blocker for Elijah Smith there, was able to blow up that linebacker to get him a few more yards. Unfortunately, a little too much hands there. Official was able to catch it. Got to penalize the Raiders here on a hold.
That's going to back Harding up to the 26-yard line, bring up a first down and 20 from that spot. Bryson Powell checks in at running back. Three receivers down here on the near sideline. And the handoff is to Powell. And it's a reverse to Amari Burgess. Burgess around the corner. They caught him on that one. And it's a 26-yard touchdown run on the end around reverse for Amari Burgess.
They're going to call a hold on the wide receiver on the right side there.
And there is a flag on the play down there on the 2-yard line.
Highly questionable. Looks like he had blocked his man to the ground.
The double reverse caught Mooney off guard. Amari Burgess took the second pitch, got around the end, and I think we're going to get a personal foul.
The coaching staff.
Personal foul on the coaching staff. Upset at that holding call. Steve Arnold letting him know about it. That's going to cost the Raiders some more yardage.
That play happened on the other side of the field. We have a great bird's eye view of this. Looked like the wide receiver did his job out there, blocked his man to the ground, kind of held him down on the ground. Tough call, very tough call. Wide receiver did his job out there.
So we're going to get a hold on the play.
And then they're going to get a dead ball 15 on the sideline.
Dead ball 15. Coach Arnold very visibly upset at that call. And now we start the walk-off.
At least the holding penalty should be a spot foul. So they should get some of the yards from that. But then if they're tacking on the extra 15, we'll see how the officials sort this all out.
Right now, it looks like Harding's still down at the 17-yard line. So
maybe they
first down and 11.
Might have just gave him a sideline warning again.
Kind of back to square one. That may be just a sideline warning on that. Looked like it was going to be a personal foul there for a moment. Well, on the holding call, Harding first and 11 at the 16-yard line. Back to pass, looking into that end zone.
Nice.
He's going to get to the back of the end zone, and they're going to call him out of bounds on that one.
Who was that? Looked like he might have got the wind knocked out of him with that extension.
That looks like Kurt Dorsey, number 23. Fantastic catch by Kurt Dorsey. He was laid out the whole way. Unfortunately, a little bit too far out of bounds on that.
Well, it looks like we've got some flag on the field, maybe some defensive pass interference.
Well, he was in play. He was on. They just call him not controlling the ball because that was in bounds.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. They must have called him not controlling the ball because he came down in bounds on that. Looking at that replay, he wasn't out of bounds on that catch. But there is a flag on the play, and it looks like it appears to be a defensive penalty.
Yeah, they're going to call the defensive pass interference there. Unfortunately, this is not the pros where you get that ball inside the 1, but nevertheless, first and goal from the 8-yard line for the Raider offense.
Apparently Dorsey wasn't quite able to hang on to that ball when he hit the ground. He did hit the ground hard, but it is 1st and 8 at the 8-yard line. No gain on that play. As a matter of fact, it's a loss of about 3 yards.
Yeah, a lot of pressure came in. They were running that to the right. I don't know if they couldn't tell if they pulled some linemen, and but that defense was ready for it right in the backfield.
First down, 2nd down and 6 now from the 12-yard line. I think we got all our yardage sorted out finally after all that. 2nd down and 6 at the 12. Harding trying to add to their 13-3 third quarter lead with 9:25 to play in the quarter. Elijah Smith has checked back into the backfield behind Elijah Taylor. And Elijah Smith, nope, Taylor's going to keep it. He's going to roll out to his left. He's got a man over here in the flats, gets it down about the 7-yard line.
Exactly what you expect from a 3-year starter there. He felt that pressure. He didn't tuck and run. He went through his reads, found his receiver out there in the flats, saves the loss of downs, but also keeps that defense on their feet.
Marco Paterno on that reception. 3rd down and 1 at the 7-yard line.
Well, this is where you really like Elijah Smith, senior, 6'2", 205. 3rd and 1 right here. Nothing fancy. This is just man-on-man, one-on-one.
And there's a handoff up the middle of Smith, and he's going to get the first down about the 2 or 3 yard line where it's going to be 1st and goal, Warren Harding.
Tackle on the play by number 21, Mike Best.
Now we'll see what they do here. You know, we've been the running game's been questionable all year. They've got a little something going here. I'd like to see him continue with the senior. You got that ball on the 3-yard line. Continue with the senior. Continue with the offensive line. Pound that ball forward. I want to see those 4 Mooney defensive linemen. I want to see them back in the parking lot on this play.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line, Warren Harding. And again, the handoff up the middle to Elijah Smith, and Elijah Smith moves the pile into the end zone. Touchdown, Warren Harding.
Great play, exactly what you wanted to see from this Harding offense. You'd like to see Elijah Taylor back there in the pocket, hooking up with those receivers. Great to see that running game start to take hold here in the second half for the Raiders.
Harding ups the lead to 19-3 with 7:49 to play in the 3rd quarter. Jake Doherty in to attempt another extra point. Kick is up, and it is good. Doherty had a lot of leg in that one. Young man continues to impress as a freshman kicker. He's 2 out of 3 this evening. He's only missed once, hit an upright at that. Nevertheless, it is a 20-3 Harding lead with 7:49 to play in the 3rd quarter.
At this point, comfortably, 17-point lead. A lot of game left, though. There is still a lot of game here, but you really want to see just, you know, what we saw there. We saw that running game. We saw them recover from a 1st and 20. I mean, these are the things that as the season goes along, these are the things that build the character of your team. You want to see them get through adversity. You want to see them how they react. You want to see them not fall apart. You want to see them remain a team. None of that arguing in the huddle, pointing fingers, none of that. You're a team, you move forward, you get through the adversity. So just a great drive for the Raiders overall. Great drive to build on as we go forward in this season.
Pechia and Rogers are back to receive the kick for Cardinal Mooney. Doherty with it teed up at the 40 once again. And this looks like Pechia at about the 12 or 13 yard line, trying at the middle, break it out around the left side. And Pechia is going to be dragged out of bounds out there around the 33 yard line. 1st and 10, Mooney out there at this point, 7:42 to play in the quarter. And you're right, Ed, there's a lot of ball game left, and there's not going to be a lot of quit on that opposing sideline over there, not from Cardinal Mooney.
No, Mooney, a storied program, I believe. New coach coming in this year. Everybody has a lot to prove out there. We all know everything that's going on, with the virus and everything. But right now, this is football. That's all it is. There's no virus out there. This is 11-on-11, man-on-man football.
Guerreri under center to open up the second half. There's a handoff to Rogers. Rogers gets ahead for 2 or 3. Looks like they're going to spot him out there around the 36-yard line. Second down and 8 coming up for Mooney. Amarian Perkins getting in there for a tackle for Warren Harding.
Second down and 7 balls on a 37-yard line.
Guerreri once again under center. Rogers behind him. Guerreri rolls out to his right. He's got a man down here in the flats. And that's going to be complete, but for no gain. Complete to number 4, Josiah Lipscomb. He might get a yard on the play, bring up third down and 7 at the 37-yard line.
Once again, like to see the attack on the defense there. Hit that pass to the near side here out in the flats. Saw 7 helmets around the ball.
Third down and 7 for the Cardinals. Their own 37-yard line. Trying to find some way to get back into this game. They face a 20-3 deficit at the hands of Warren Harding right now. Zaire Rogers once again lines up. We have a whistle on the play.
Yeah, you kind of expected to see a timeout there.
Looks like another timeout.
If you were watching Mooney on the field, they had 8 players in the huddle. All 3 of their wide receivers were already lined up. So I'm assuming whatever they were talking about in the huddle must not have been very important to the wide receivers. So that timeout isn't very surprising.
And that's Mooney's second timeout already, not even halfway through the third quarter. So Mooney finds himself down to a final timeout. And should they manage to get a couple scores somewhere, that could prove crucial towards the end of the ball game.
Yeah, over 6 minutes left in the third quarter, only 1 timeout, down 17 points. Obviously something that's going to be concerning. But you start as a coach, you start to watch some of these things. You look at those timeouts. You look at what caused those timeouts. Was that a sideline issue? Was that a player personnel issue? Just like on the Harding side, that missed extra point. That's something that's in the back of your head that could loom to be a great deficit late in the game. But now up 17, pretty comfortable. Just need a couple more stops.
Guerreri rolling out to his left, under a lot of pressure once again. Amari Burgess tries to drag him down. He gets a pass off to Rogers. Rogers with a little running room, but just back to the line of scrimmage. Managed to get that pass complete, but no gain on the play. A lot of running around, but no gain on that. Maybe a couple yards. We'll give him 4th down and 5.
Yeah, the Raiders lucked out there. Burgess got in, wasn't able to bring down the quarterback. To his credit, showed a lot of strength in that 200-pound body, was able to complete the pass out there. Find yourself in trouble there because you see everybody starts to come at the quarterback, but luckily the Raiders had enough guys back, able to stop him for little to no gain.
Philbin on the high snap, pulls it in, gets the punt off, a low line drive. Amari Burgess is going to stay with that. Takes a big Mooney bounce and roll all the way down inside the Raider 15-yard line. The Raiders will have it 1st and 10 right there. 5:20 to play in this third quarter with the Raiders ahead by a score of 20-3.
We'll see what the offense decides to do here. Really excited to see that last drive. See the Raiders start to establish that running game. We'll see if those safeties and those corners and the linebackers start peeking their eyes back in the backfield. They might have forgot about number 11, Dom Foster, out there.
And it is Elijah Smith in the backfield. He's going to set up over to the left of quarterback Elijah Taylor. And the handoff is to Elijah Smith, trying to get around that right end, and he gets good yardage on that first down, about 6 yards out to the 21-yard line. Brings up a 2nd down and 4. So I think as long as we see that, Eddie, we're going to see a healthy dose of Elijah Smith for a while.
Well, a nice 6-yard play, but I'll tell you why that happens. I mean, obviously that was a sweep right, but he planted that right foot, got those shoulder pads square, and he turned upfield. He didn't try to just stretch it out to the sideline and beat everybody. He decided to use his strength, use that power, turn it upfield, get a couple extra yards.
2nd down and 4 for the Raiders at their own 21-yard line. Clock ticking away in the third quarter, down to 4:35 left. One more time to Elijah Smith, this time up the middle. Smith breaks a tackle. He's going to get a first down way out beyond the 30-yard line, and Smith is firing away now. He's got a nice rhythm going down there.
Yeah, you want to keep this going, keep them back on their heels, keep them guessing. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some type of play action here soon and look for one of those receivers either on a bootleg or something wide open down the sideline.
Dom Foster is going to be lined up down here on the near sideline. Elijah Smith stays in there behind Elijah Taylor. Nope, we got a flag and a play, a little early movement.
A false start, or looks like somebody lined
looks
up
like an
in
encroachment
neutral.
again.
And this is where, when you can establish that run game, this is where you start to wear down that defense, specifically the defensive linemen. Those linemen coming at you, maul blocking you. Defensive linemen love pass blockers. When you start hitting them with that run block, when you're head on head with them, that starts to wear them down.
Handoff up the middle, and this time Smith finds little to no running room, gets back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play.
That's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 here. Decent position for Harding to be in. No yards on that play, but still that offensive playbook is wide open for the coaching staff.
Second down and 5. Foster down here to the near sideline along with 2 other receivers. And this time Taylor drops back to pass. He's under a lot of pressure, breaks out of the pocket. Taylor's got a little running room. Elijah Taylor's going to get the first down out around the 45-yard line.
Yeah, nice run by Elijah Taylor there, able to break out to the right, get the first down. Lowered his shoulder there for a couple yards. I'm sure Coach Arnold would have liked to see him just kind of scamper out of bounds there, but hey, it's senior night. Ain't nobody running out of bounds tonight.
1st and 10 Raiders at their own 45-yard line with 2:40 and counting in this third quarter. Elijah Taylor, big run for a first down off 3rd down and 5 on that last play. Foster by himself down here on the near sideline.
Single safety.
There's a man in motion. There's that sweep again around the end. And not a whole lot happening on that one.
Yeah, he took that jet sweep here to the left. Looked like if he would have planted that left foot and cut up, he might have had a hole, but he was trying to use his speed with that jet sweep to get to the outside. Unfortunately, he had the defensive end and outside linebacker out there. Might have wanted to plant that foot, cut up a little bit early, right up the seam, and then you've got that cut back across field. He's gone.
Cheney Ringgold on that carry, trying to get around the corner on that time. No gain on the play, 2nd down and 10. Ball still at the 45-yard line. Davion and Amari Burgess over there to the right. Foster down here to the left. And Taylor's looking for Dom Foster down that sideline one more time.
Got it.
And what a catch by Dom Foster at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 Raiders at the Mooney 15.
Great concentration by Dom Foster there. He had a couple steps on the corner, Taylor threw it up a little underthrown. Dom Foster was able to come back and make that play, but just like we spoke of in the first game, you're looking for those receivers that you can throw those 50-50 balls up, and the quarterback's got the confidence that he's going to go up and get that ball. Excellent play, excellent concentration by Dom Foster down the sideline.
Reminiscent of Lynn Swan down there on that play way back in the Super Bowl from many years ago. Taylor takes it out. He's got Davion Burgess out there in the sideline. Burgess around the corner. He picks up a couple inside the 10-yard line down to about the 7. Close to a first down.
That was a little different, a wrinkle we haven't seen from the Raiders. Looked like a little RPO. He had that run-pass option. He rode the running back out to the left-hand side, came back, got his shoulder square, was able to hit the running back out of the backfield on the opposite side for a nice gain.
He's got that ball down to just outside the 6-yard line, so it's second down and maybe a little bit less than a yard to go for a first. Deep in Mooney territory, down there at the Mooney 7. And there's a handoff once again to Elijah Smith. He's going to power ahead for that first down inside the 5-yard line, where it's going to be first and goal, Warren Harding, down about the 3-yard line. And Harding knocking at the door once again as this third quarter begins to wind down. 13 seconds to play. I imagine once they get everything set, they'll start the clock, and Harding's going to let this run out and take a 20-3 lead into the fourth quarter, where they're going to have first and goal at the Mooney 3-yard line to open up the final frame of this one.
You know, this is exactly how Harding wanted to come out. Defense looks great, holding a shutout here in the second half. Offense is looking good. Elijah Taylor's doing what we're used to seeing him do, be able to complete the passes, use his feet to complete some first down, but I think the biggest takeaway from the second half is their ability to run the ball. Mooney went in to their halftime as they came into the game, knowing that they were trying to stop Dom Foster and the Elijah Taylor hookup. This Harding offense was able to respond. Elijah Smith, senior on senior night, able to show what has been synonymous with this Raider program as hard-nosed running. Hard-nosed running is going to open up that passing game even more for Elijah Taylor. So really like what we've seen here thus far in the second half as they try to prepare for next week. Like I said, you never want to look past a game, but really hard not to realize that next week is Massillon, and really hard not to forget about what happened last year in the playoffs. Harding fans, Harding players, Harding coaches, we want this matchup. We want to end this game in a great fashion, no injuries, and high on offense, high on defense, and that's what we've seen through 3 quarters of this game.
Here we go, start of the fourth quarter. Harding first and goal at the Mooney 3-yard line. And no surprise, it's big Elijah Smith in here behind Taylor, and he's going to get that ball up the middle. This time he's falls ahead for a yard.
Yeah, it looks like he got tripped up in the backfield there, was able to fall forward, maybe a gain of 1.
Second and goal at the 2-yard line. Smith looks like he may be limping just a little bit. Maybe got hung up around the ankles. No, he's back in there. Thought he was coming to the sidelines there for a second. He's got his signal. Everybody else is ready to roll. He's going to line up to be a little bit behind and to the right of Elijah Taylor. He's going to get the ball. Nope, Taylor's going to keep it. Taylor's been in the backfield, but he pounds ahead down to the 1, gets positive yards.
It looks like that's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. I do see a little limp there by Smith. I'm willing to bet you on this 3rd and 1 they give him the ball, you won't see a limp.
Third and goal at the 1 for the Raider offense on the Mooney 1-yard line.
Who wants it more? The offensive line or the defensive line?
And it's Elijah Smith up the middle, and I think he's in there this time for the Raider touchdown. Raider touchdown. That ups the score to 26-3.
You know,
Elijah Smith with his second touchdown of the evening.
yeah, great to see that, you know, as a former football player and a coach, I tell you, when you're 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, when you're on the 1-2 yard line, look, you can get fancy and you can pull play actions and all that. I want to see hard-nosed football. I want my offensive line to beat that defensive line. I want my running back to lower his helmet and lower his shoulders, and I want to push them back. I want to beat you on those plays.
And Jake Doherty is good once again with the extra point. 27-3, Warren Harding over Youngstown Cardinal Mooney. 10:29 to go in the game. And it's good to see that run, Ed, because, you know, you got that lead late in the game. You don't want to have to keep putting the ball in the air to move it. A lot of bad things can happen when you have to do that.
Well, correct. You don't want to become one-dimensional, you know, and, you know, as any, you know, buddy who follows football knows, you know, you establish the running game. The running game then ends up opening up the passing game. But there are plays in football, and that is a great example of one of them where that's more than a touchdown. That is demoralizing. That is letting you know we are on the 1-2 yard line. We got our big back in. You know we're coming at you, and you can't stop us. That is demoralizing for the other team, and it is a confidence builder for the Raider offense. So thus far, I couldn't ask for more after coming off that loss to Benedictine, coming in here to a storied program like Mooney, and being able to put on the show that they have tonight gives you a great feeling going forward in the season.
Doherty getting set to put the ball into play for Harding. Ball's going to be fielded by Petche at about the 16-yard line. Petche looking for some room in the middle. Gets it up almost to the 30-yard line before he gets pushed back. Looks like they're going to spot him at the 29. 1st and 10, Mooney at the 29.
Another big series for that Raider defense. You come out here, you want to keep your foot on the gas. You want to keep this moving. You want to keep the momentum going. No different than last week when they scored that touchdown at the end of the game. Although a loss, although a 7-point loss, although it hurts, at the end of the day, it showed that the Raiders weren't willing to give up. Well, it's the same thing here. When you're up like this, you keep it moving. You keep it going. Keep it going. Work on some things. You know,
Guerreri with the handoff to Rogers. Rogers slips in the backfield. That's going to cost him a couple yards.
Yeah, but what I was saying there, you just, even though you know you've got this comfortable lead, you're up by 24 points, 10 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Not time to take your foot off the gas. When your foot comes off the gas, when your coaches tell you to. When they start putting in, you know, some of the younger kids, trying to get them experience, making sure we don't get any silly injuries here at the end of the game. But this is the time where you work. This is where it becomes personal. No more than 3 points. No more first downs.
Guerreri with Rogers set up to his right. And the pitch is out to Rogers. Rogers looking for a little room out there. Rogers gets through the line of scrimmage. Still on his feet at the 35-yard line. Still fighting for yardage out almost to the 40. Rogers gets it out close to a Mooney first down.
Yeah, nice run by Rogers there. As we talked in the beginning of this game, you know, there's not going to be a lot of, looks like Rogers is,
and Rogers
shook up on that play. But, you know, that's one of those runs that, you know, is going to get lost, you know, throughout the season. But just a tough run. Down 27-3. He's showing his team that he isn't giving up. He's out there. He came for 4 quarters. It's not over yet. He's going to continue to work. So very proud of the young man for that type of run. Really motivates your team, keeps you in it.
And unfortunately, I think Rogers, from where he's laying down, looks like he tried to get back to the huddle because he was tackled over there on the sideline. But something's not right. He did get the first down out to about the 40-yard line, just short of the 40-yard line when it's going to be 1st and 10 Mooney. They are tending to Zaire Rogers right now, so hopefully nothing serious. We'll see him trot off and see him back in the game shortly. So we'll take a moment here while they look after young Mr. Rogers, helping him up on his feet.
Yeah, you could see when he was coming back, he had a little limp. He was going to try to go, Unfortunately,
He's walking off kind of slow there, so
yeah,
not
we'll
sure
see.
if we'll see him again or not again tonight or not. That's pretty ginger on that leg.
Obviously not a cramp, something we're used to seeing early in the season, but hopefully the young man can return here in the next, with 9.5 left here in the fourth quarter.
It looks like number 25, Jason Emil Austin, checking in for Zaire Rogers. And he's going to get the carry around the end. He picks up good yardage down here to about the 48-yard line. It's going to bring up a second down and short.
You know, the problem that Mooney's going to have, the clock's not their friend right now. 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Haven't really shown much of an ability to throw the ball down the field. And when they have, these Raider cornerbacks are all over it. So with this kind of time left, down the amount of scores they are, very difficult to be able to to really cut into this lead with that kind of time without putting the ball in the air.
And the Raiders on defense take this opportunity to use their first timeout of the second half. Talk this over with a second down and 2 coming up. Just under 9 minutes to go in the ball game with Raiders on top 27-3.
You know, speed matters. You know, if you can't accomplish that passing game and you get yourself into a position like this, you got to hope that you got a running back, you know, that can score from anywhere on the field. Right now, with Rogers out, I'm not sure that they have a player on the Mooney side that's going to be able to outrun this defense. So Raiders find themselves in a very good position. Like I said, you just got to keep your nose to the grindstone. You want to keep this Mooney offense at 3 points. Get out of here in the next 9 minutes with a win. Start looking forward to next week.
Emil Austin remains in the ball game in place of the injured Zaire Rogers. Second down and 2. The handoff is to Miller, trying to get around that end. And he looked like he was going to get it for a moment. May have gotten forced back. He's going to be a little bit short, bringing up a third down and less than 1.
Well, once again, I talk about the speed. You saw, looked like that was, I would assume that was a defensive lineman that was chasing him down from behind. And then he had another, looked like the defensive end came up there for the stop. But, you know, speed, nothing beats speed. Can't teach speed, difficult to beat speed.
Looks like third down, about a half a yard to go there for Cardinal Mooney, trying to get a first down here with 8:18 to play. Trying to do whatever they can to possibly get back into this contest. Guerreri steps back in the shotgun. Looks like there's a lot of movement on that line.
Oh.
And that big hit on Guerreri. Looks like a lot of confusion down there on that offensive line on that play.
Well, it looks like he put the ball on the ground. He was lucky to get it back, but as soon as he looked up, he had a couple Raiders right there on his chin strap. And you could see the frustration setting in with the Mooney players. Timeout Mooney, that's going to be their last, I believe, of the half.
Zaire Rogers was back in the game on that play, so that was good to see. 7:44 to go in the contest. And Cardinal Mooney is faced with a 4th down and 2 at their own 48-yard line. I imagine being down 24 points at this point, they're probably going to try to go for that, hang on their ball a little bit, and see what they can make happen here in the later stages of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. With this much time remaining, no timeouts, this is all 4-down territory for Cardinal Mooney.
Pat Guerreri stays in at quarterback. And again, Zaire Rogers back in the game after going down a couple of plays ago. Guerreri's going to keep this up the middle, and he's going to power ahead for the first down. Gets inside Raider territory, down about the Raider 49-yard line. It will be first down and 10. Clock stops for the chains to move. It'll be picking up again momentarily. And the clock starts running once again. First and 10, Mooney at the Raider 49.
I'm really looking to see some sense of urgency off the sidelines of Mooney, getting those plays in a little quicker. Look to see a no huddle coming up here.
Guerreri keeps that, looking deep downfield. He's got a man open in the middle. That was number 5, Chris Marshall down there with the reception. Down to about the Raider 15-yard line. It looks like they're going to spot it. 1st and 10 Mooney at the Raider 15 on the big completion from Pat Guerreri down there to Chris Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall able to get behind. Looked like they had 2 safeties back deep. Unfortunately for the Raiders, safeties let him get behind him. If he would have had a little more arm on that, that was an easy 6.
Marshall had to hold up and almost come back for that ball. That allowed the Raiders secondary to drag him down there at the 15, but nevertheless, it is 1st down Mooney at the 15-yard line. Guerreri looking to pass again. He's going to tuck this in and get around the end for about 5 yards up to the 10-yard line. 2nd down and 5 at that point.
Yeah, nice job by the defense there. Couldn't tell if that was a designed run or not, but it looks like they had the corners had everybody locked up back there. But as the quarterback shown all night, not afraid to tuck that ball and get a few extra yards.
Clock continues to tick away for Cardinal Mooney. 2nd down and 5 at the Raider 10-yard line, and we have Raiders going to call timeout down there. They're 2nd of the half.
Well, they want to talk about some things here. Obviously, we go back to that bend but don't break. Mooney, kicker, showed a great leg, obviously well within his field goal range here to be able to put 3 on the board. But I think that's out of the question at this point. Obviously, they're looking for 7, 4-down territory for the rest of the game here. Coach Arnold just wants to reiterate that to his team, let him know we keep our foot on the gas until the clock hits 0. 6 minutes, 17 seconds left in the game. We want to keep them out of the end zone. We want to get a turnover, keep this at 3, get the offense back on the field.
6:17 to go in the ball game. After the timeout, Mooney coming back out for their 2nd down and 5 play at the Raider 10-yard line. That looks like Devontae Miller setting up behind quarterback Pat Guerreri. Guerreri looking over that right side, passing. He's got a man open, overthrows Miller just a little bit, brings up a 3rd down and 5 on the incomplete pass.
Yeah, he had him on that rollout. Just unfortunately, maybe a little too much mustard on the ball right there through the running back's hands. If he completes that, looks like he's got an easy walk into the end zone.
Devontae Miller staying in there at running back for Cardinal Mooney. And there's the pitch to Miller. Miller up to the 5-yard line, inside the 5, down to about the Raider 1-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and goal Mooney. So now Mooney knocking at the door, trying to get some more points on the board late in this game.
Yeah, defense looked like they were in the right place. They had the man on the quarterback, man on the running back. Unfortunately, Mooney offense was able to pick the right hole there and get through that defense. Going to bring up 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
Guerreri with the keeper, bounces it outside, and he falls into the end zone for a Cardinal Mooney touchdown.
And nobody home outside there. Defensive ends pinched in, linebackers pinched down, pressured the line a little bit. He's got the speed and the agility to pop outside. Corner came up, tried to make the stick at the end. Unfortunately, too late at the 1-yard line.
Brian Philibin, the Mooney kicker, on to attempt the extra point. Philibin, up to this point, had the only scoring for Mooney with the 28-yard field goal in the first half. Now he's on for an extra point. And that splits the uprights with no problem. That makes it a 27-10 ball game. Harding up 27-10. 5:47 left to play in the ball game. Still enough time, Ed. You don't want to get careless at this point.
No, and your kickoff return team's got to be on their toes right here.
Absolutely.
Got to watch for that onside kick, obviously. Senior kicker over there. He's got some experience, knows how to put that ball in the air, and I got to assume he knows how to get the big bounce on the onside kick. So, like I said, you keep your foot on the gas until it's all zeros. 5:47 left, 0 timeouts. Obviously, the Raiders are in a good position here, but you want to finish strong. You don't want to end this game on a low note. You want to finish strong. I believe a lot of the success that we're seeing this week honestly comes from that last touchdown that you saw against Benedictine. That touchdown was for nothing. That game wasn't as close as the score indicated. But the fight from the players, the fight from the coaches to not give up, to put that ball in the end zone at the end of the game, that brings a better feeling into the next week.
And it looks like the Raiders are indeed anticipating that kick. And they get it. That ball is fielded at about the 41-yard line. Nice job by the good hands people down there. And Elijah Smith falls on that one.
No, that ball was coming. It was coming hard. It was coming funny with some spin to it. He was able to grab that ball with 2 hands smartly, take it to the ground, bring the offense onto the field. Let's run some clock.
1st and 10 Raiders at their own 41-yard line. 5:46 to play in the ball game. Raiders leading 27-10. Each team with, well, take that back. Raiders have 1 timeout remaining. Mooney has used all theirs. So, again, we talked about that earlier. If Mooney happens to put another score on the board, that lack of timeouts could loom large, but a lot of that depends on what this Raider offense does on this series right here.
Hey, you look to see a big dose of the running game. Really want to chip away at that clock right now.
Bryson Powell in the backfield on this 1st down and 10 play. And Powell gets the ball, searching for something and finding nothing. Loses 2 yards on that play, brings up a 2nd down and 12. Smith checks back in.
Last week I don't think they had the play clock up. This week they do here.
You're right. Yeah, the play clock was not running last week.
They take their time, let this clock run down, probably between 2-3 seconds before they get the snap off. Really, really chip away at that clock and really try to give them a large dose of Elijah Smith here in the power game that he's shown thus far through the second half.
I think the Raiders are going to use their last timeout on that one.
I want to have a senior night.
I want to go on our senior Inspire Minds trip.
I want to have a chance to prove that the girls' soccer team can beat Howland.
I want to be able to score a goal this season.
To experience my senior year with my teammates.
I want our Friday nights under the lights.
Second down and 12 for the Raiders at their own 39-yard line. 4:53 to play in the ball game after that final Raider timeout. Elijah Smith checks back into the backfield alongside Elijah Taylor. Another sweep around the end. This looks like Amari Burgess. He gets a little bit of running room out here, out across the 50.
Gonna be close.
Actually, I think that was Marquand Brown. I'm sorry, Marquand Brown on that carry, number 3.
Looks like he's going to be about 6 inches short, roughly. Are they going to move the chains on that?
Looks like he's got the first
Nope,
down
they
on
gave
that
it to
play.
him, all right.
So that end-around run by Marquand Brown gets it into Mooney territory at the 49-yard line and picks up another Raider first down with 4:45 to play. He was taken out of bounds on that play, so the clock will remain stopped until the snap this time. The handoff up the middle to Elijah Smith. There's a flag on the play as Smith falls ahead for a couple yards.
Yeah, it looks like that flag's thrown in the area that they usually call holding.
And it is a hold. We've been bit by the holding bug a couple times tonight so far.
And you start getting late in the game. You know, this is where that conditioning comes in. Early in the year, everybody's still trying to get their breath, still trying to, you know, get things sorted out. You got a guy who in practice might have just been playing one way. All of a sudden, you know, you get an injury or you want to get a different look, and you got somebody going both ways, and you start to get tired, start to get winded, and all of a sudden the footwork isn't there, and you start reaching out and grabbing.
That backs the Raiders up to their own 40-yard line, brings up a first down and 21 off that 10-yard holding call. And there's the handoff up the middle, and nothing on that play. That looked like, was that number 34 down there? Delmar McMillian with the handoff that time.
Yeah, it looked like they're trying to get some more players, some looks, switching in some offensive linemen as well, getting them some playing time. And this is what you expect. This is what you take advantage of when you're up 17 points with 4 minutes left. This is where we started to see the Elijah Taylors. This is where we started to see the Elijah Smiths and the Burgesses, their sophomore years. You know, you don't think much of it. You're getting a little bit of the, you know, what we call garbage time. But when you're a senior and you've got that experience from your sophomore year, it greatly pays off.
The handoff again to McMillian, and he makes a nice run of it this time. McMillan, I'm sorry. Delmar McMillan all the way up to about the 50-yard line. That brings up a third down and a little bit more manageable 12 yards.
Yeah, the junior, 5'9", 165, they got him listed as. Nice run there, was able to lower his shoulders through the hole and then show some speed once he broke the linebackers.
The Raiders can fashion another first down. Here you could just about put this one in the books. Looks like McMillan remains in the backfield alongside Elijah Taylor. And McMillan gets another crack at it. This time there's nothing there. There's no gain on the play. Maybe a half a yard. And that's going to bring on the punt team for Warren Harding. Clock continues to run. Going to be down around 2 minutes by the time this punt gets off. Actually, they haven't even started the play clock yet. We're down to 2:36, so there goes the play clock now. So we're going to be well under 2 minutes by the time this punt goes off. I'm reasonably sure that Elijah Taylor is going to watch that clock tick down another 25 seconds or so before he takes this snap.
Yeah, he's got him up to the line, but you saw the coaching staff yelling out there. I think there was a mishap there with the officials starting that, not getting the clock started in time. So that's gonna run this clock down considerably. Mooney's going to get the ball with less than 2 minutes left in the game. We'll see if they put some of the underclassmen in on defense to get them a little bit of varsity action.
And Taylor gets off another nice punt down there. That's going to take a Raider hop inside around about the 15-yard line. So Cardinal Mooney gets the ball with 1:48 to play inside their own 15, around a 14, first and 10 on the short end of a 27-10 Warren Harding lead.
Well, the Raiders should be able to leave this game on a high note. You know, looking forward to next week. Mooney obviously has some more work to do with their first-year head coach. I don't think we have any worries about them. A storied program like this, I have no concern that, you know, they're going to get this together. They'll probably finish out the year strong. And as if I'm correct, all teams are going to make the playoffs. So theoretically, you could go 0-6 and still win a state championship.
Well, I mean, how many times in the past we've seen teams like Mooney, you know, get into playoffs with even a 5-5 or 4-6 record because they play schools so much bigger than they are. They get all those points off their wins. They get in the playoffs, and they threaten for the state championship. Guerreri rolls out to his right, a little pressure back there, and almost picked off over there. Another one of those dropped interceptions, but pressure on Guerreri. It looks like. Is that number 4? Is that Amari? I can't tell these. Yeah, it was Amari Burgess almost with that one.
That's a couple that he's had there. You know, a lot of credit. way to be in position late in the game, up 17. That one's not going to come back to haunt you, but no different than last week. Corners, they're in the right positions. Linebackers, like to see a couple of those be turned over, be used as turnovers.
That looks like a handoff up the middle to Jason Emil Austin for no gain. Brings up a 3rd down and 10.
And as you see the rotation coming in and out, getting some of the starters out of there. Don't want any injuries late here in the game. Get some of these guys some varsity experience. This is a great opportunity to grow the program for years to come.
27, Amarian Dukes in on that last tackle. And there's the handoff to Emil Austin once again up the middle. This time Austin has some running room, gets it out. Looks like he's going to get a 1st down off that play, out to about the 25-yard line, and that will get the Cardinals another 1st down with under a minute to play.
Let's see how many plays Mooney decides to run here. About 30 seconds left in the game.
Like Mooney's just trying to get some positive things going at their running game. They don't look like they're trying to put the ball up and get a quick score, just trying to move it. I take that back. This time Guerreri does try, but he slips and he's hit in the backfield for a loss. Was trying to get a pass off downfield, lost his footing in the middle of the pocket, tried to get it out of there. By that time, the defensive line was all over him. Bring up a
big hit. They've got about 10 seconds left. We'll see if they choose to run a play or not. Looks like they're not going to be able to get that ball off in time, and that's going to end the game.
That's going to run the clock down. So week 2 is in the books, Raider Nation, and your Raiders have gone to 1-1 on the season with a 27-10 victory over the Youngstown Cardinals.
Well, exactly what we wanted to see this week after the week 1 loss to Benedictine. A lot of confusion in week 1. You know, starting out, I think up until Wednesday, they were supposed to be playing Cleveland Heights, but no excuses. Benedictine found themselves in the same position. Obviously, Benedictine, a great team. Harding had their chances. Unfortunately, they fell short. Come back this week against a great program like Cardinal Mooney. From the start of the game, the Raiders controlled it. This game was a 17-point game, but the reality is it wasn't as close as the score showed. They ran this game from the 1st quarter to the 4th quarter, and not only did you see what we're used to seeing with Elijah Taylor hooking up with Dominic Foster, but to be able to see them establish that running game to some extent tonight is only going to do well for them as they go forward next week, as they head for their first away game against Massillon. Going to be the first really big challenge of the year, and like I said, no one forgets about what happened in the playoffs last year. I'm sure the Raiders have been waiting. They've been circling this game. They've been wanting to get it, so they're going to have their opportunity. They come off a great win, balanced game, great game by the defense, great game through their passing game, great game through their running game. Now, it's just putting it all together, going up to Massillon next week, and delivering a W.
So that takes care of it for this evening. Once again, the Raiders on top of Youngstown Cardinal Mooney, 27-10. They're going to get on that bus and head down to Massillon to Paul Brown Stadium next week to take on the Tigers of Massillon Washington High School. So we'll probably be back here in 2 weeks for the Raiders' next home game. So for my friend Eddie Colbert, always a pleasure to be working with Eddie, and for everybody else out there this week, glad you could stop by and have a look at our ball game. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. And once again, all the credit goes out to Mr. Whitaker and his WSCN broadcast students, both present students and a couple of alumni students here helping out in the early going while he gets his new charges in line. They do a fantastic job. You got, when you look at this program, you see the professionalism in it. You see the graphics. You see the clock there. You're starting to see some replays now, and it's hard to imagine that this is really it's a high school project. It looks so much better than that.
Oh, when you look at the screen here that we were able to see this week, it truly is amazing. And you hope that this program, really pushes these kids forward. You see them doing things like this professionally. I can tell you, every year when I get the call for Fred, I sit there and cross my fingers that he's going to ask me to come back to do this with you. I enjoy standing here with you. I enjoy being able to, especially a year like this. It's tough. I have kids that play 7th, 8th grade football, and it's hard not being able to come here and cheer on these kids. So I'm just grateful that I get to be a part of this WSCN family that's able to bring this game, not only to just the citizens of Warren, but to those who have graduated and moved away. I mean, last year I think we had some people in Europe, we had Alaska. Anywhere you're at, you're able to get on YouTube, tune into WSCN, and catch what I will call a professional broadcast that is put on by Mr. Whitaker and his team. So hats off to them for being able to bring a sense of normalcy back to the city of Warren, the Warren Harding football team and its fans.
Well, that'll do it for Molotov Stadium. Have a great Labor Day weekend, everybody. Get out there, have a cookout, enjoy yourselves a little bit before we get back at it on Tuesday. So for Eddie Colbert, this is Tom Bird. We're gonna say goodnight here, and we'll be back here at Molotov in a couple weeks, and hopefully we'll be rooting on a 2-1 Raider ball club. Have a great weekend. Good night, folks.